So I feel like I should have made this video a long time ago because although I haven't really talked about Doug, if any, in my videos, I have talked plenty about Cavern Churn, and I feel like if there's any brawler that should do really well on it, it would be Doug. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this video. But first things first, going over my loadout, I'll be using extra mustard for his gadget, my first and only gear is going to be speed, and finally I decided to go with self-service for his star power. With that said, let's get started. Now, I think it's no secret a lot of players aren't really that fond of Doug. I mean, they consider him like a worse version of Jackie, and while I do think Jackie is a lot more versatile than Doug in terms of playstyle, I still think Doug has some potential. Of course, you're not really going to see him being used on Bounty or Knockout because those maps rarely offer any chance for a close range brawler to do some serious damage. But not in this case because I have almost every advantage I need. So why do I think Doug is a good choice for this map? Well, it comes down to two things. The first is his gadget Extra Mustard, which in my opinion is his best gadget. And I think it's self-explanatory. I know a lot of players have mentioned his base damage being really low, and well, this kind of sort of fixes that. You do of course have to wait 15 seconds for it to recharge, but I don't think it's a big deal, especially considering that I'm not exactly facing the most powerful players. I mean heck, even when I die from the Shelly, I still end up getting 3rd place. And that's mainly because I'm still below 1000 trophies, so let's go ahead and fix that. Now this should be a challenge, right? Well, not really. Yeah, as it turns out, a lot of players still continue using the same brawlers at this level, and sure they do more damage and have more health, but all of that doesn't matter if I could just use my super. And speaking of super, that's actually the second reason why I think he's a great brawler for this map. I'm just gonna skip the details because I think this gameplay summarizes exactly what it does. That was probably the most stressful match I've had with Doug as well. It's funny because technically this super should not work at all just based off of how many brawlers there are that can easily counter it. I guess you can also put some of that blame on Doug himself because compared to Jackie, he's not really that fast. But regardless, if he could somehow manage around it, he is going to be unstoppable. So in my opinion, I think Doug absolutely dominates on Cavern Churn. If I was to change one thing about him, it would be to increase his speed maybe by double when he uses his super. Because right now, that's one of the big issues that many players have with him. But you guys can tell me what you think about him in the comment section. Anyways, have a good day.